USS Mason was born from a promise. After the NAACP urged President Roosevelt in 1941 to allow African Americans meaningful naval service, the destroyer became one of two U.S. warships in World War II with a predominantly African American crew. Mason was commissioned on March 20, 1944, under the command of Lieutenant Commander William Blackford. Out of a complement of about 204 sailors, 160 were African American. They trained at the segregated Camp Robert Smalls at Great Lakes, and many believed that serving aboard the Mason and defending their country would open doors for future generations. Mason joined Convoy CK-3 on June 14th, steaming through U-boat-infested waters, where she intercepted an Enigma transmission before reaching the Azores on July 6th. Her next convoy carried her to the UK, where she tracked a suspected snooper aircraft and watched St. Elmo's fire glow along her rigging. She returned home in August and soon faced her most challenging mission, Convoy NY-119, a slow group of tugs and barges that departed New York on September 19th. Heavy seas scattered the formation as Mason delivered parts to a disabled tug, screened salvage work after another capsized, and continued on to the Azores. There, she sailed into a violent North Atlantic storm. On October 16th, winds rolled Mason over 70 degrees, splitting deck plates that had to be welded back together in the storm. 2 days later, with ships drifting dangerously off course, Mason and the British vessel Pretext guided the advanced section into port, circling back repeatedly for stragglers. But every vessel made it in safely. After her final Atlantic crossing in May 1945, Mason returned to New York, where she operated along the East Coast until she was decommissioned on October 12th and later scrapped. For decades, Mason's accomplishments were overlooked. Only in the 1990s did the Navy formally recognize her crew's skill and the barriers they broke. Their story inspired several books and films.